Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Holiday. Today we are going to be going over the entirety of my recent cruise on board Carnival Freedom for our first group cruise with Let's Talk Ship. And without further ado, let's talk ship. So going into embarkation day, Carnival Freedom sailed out of Port Canaveral. This from the airport to the port, which makes things a whole lot easier. There's a whole method behind how I do that to make it smooth. Excuse me. There's a whole method behind that I use, which makes it smooth for me, and it's cost efficient. Arriving at the cruise terminal, it was good. Now, with this being a group cruise, this was my first group cruise as a travel agent, and it went great. It went great. Starting off, things went as I had researched them to go. You know, you're going to have those pros and you're going to have those cons. And for me, the method was I needed to find more cons than pros, because we all want the good things that comes with the benefits of being a travel agent, right? Right. But I needed to seek out more cons than anything. That way I could know how to know if I could navigate those cons. You know, when we see the good, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I can. If I have this happen, I can do this, I can do that, yada yada yada, and we know. My first group cruise was a success. Meeting people from social media was new. It was definitely new. I was definitely grateful and blessed for the experience, you know, having people approach and say, hey, aren't you the guy that, yeah, that's me. And having conversations with people, you know, it even took me by surprise when I had some people who wanted to take pictures. And I'm like, okay, this is different, you know? And I don't think that's something that I'll ever get used to, but I was definitely humble and grateful for the experience. And yeah, it was nice. There was a time when I was on TikTok Live and someone had actually walked by and tapped me on. Then you know when you get back, if you're involved in a group, not the group cruise, but the Facebook group page for your particular selling, there's always, for the most part, someone who gets back and they post, hey, did anyone else get sick? Did anyone else feel kind of woozy or whatever the case may be? And there were quite a few people who felt sick. I believe a few people had caught COVID. Other people just had sniffles and things like that. I'm not exempt. There have been times on sailings in the past where I've by the time I got back. So yeah, I think my immune system got weak and I was just struggling to recover from that. But it was worth it and I would do it again. So like I tell people in videos and on my lives, prior to going on your cruise, at least 2 weeks, start taking vitamin C, immunity boosting supplements to help strengthen your immune system and things like that before you get on the ship to help reduce the chances of you getting sick. Because once you get on those ships, especially the ones that have buffets, you're touching the utensils behind someone who probably touched their nose, went to the bathroom and handled their business without washing their hands. You know, you're probably one of them. So yeah, those type of things happen often on cruises, and hand sanitizer, washing your hands, and keeping yourself healthy will help reduce your chances of getting sick or the stomach bug or even catching COVID when you get off the ship. Going into this sailing, we had the word that Hurricane Erin was lurking. If you guys have been around on the channel long enough, then you know that my last cruise was Hurricane Milton. So I was definitely like, whatever, I'm here for it. I had that type of energy, and we got a snippet of Erin. I think we had a little rough seas for about 8 hours. The captain came over the intercom and told us that we would hit some rough seas and that it would stop around, I believe, 10 p.m. that night. And he was spot on. Around 10 p.m. that night, everything smoothed out and everything was good. During the day, the ship, it swayed back and forth, and we would sit down and we would see people, staggering left and right. So that's all, in a sick kind of way, it's kind of I don't mind it at all. I know the risk. That's when I click that submit deposit button, I know what I'm signing myself up for. If it's between the months of, I believe it's July and December, I'm good. I'm here for it. Now, of course, with sailings, you can never predict this. We did have some physical altercations and verbal altercations, and the important thing about that is, how did the staff security handle it? From what I saw that happened in front of me, security was right on it. Staff handled the situations that arose in front of them. There was a verbal altercation between a guest and a staff during the night of the teen party, and that was just very over the top and unnecessary. Unnecessary threats were made, and just people being ignorant. It's unfortunate, it happens, and from what I observed, I have to say staff handled the situation very well. When security got involved, they got both sides of the stories and de-escalated to the best of their ability, so kudos to that. With this being Carnival Freedom, I'm not exactly sure what year Carnival Freedom came out, but it is an older ship. It is actually a part of the Conquest class, which its sister ships are Liberty, Valor, Freedom, and Glory, and of course, Conquest. So there's 5 ships. Staterooms, I did smell the sewage. It wasn't bad. I've smelled worse on ships, and it was just a faint smell. I hit them with the, yeah, I know what that is, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. So there's no major complaint there. I was on deck 6, so if that means anything, it was fine. It wasn't a big deal. My whole thing with the condition of the ship, of course, if it's run down, it's going to be noticeable. If it's a clean looking ship, it's going to be noticeable. If it's just a very aesthetically pleasing ship, it's going to be noticeable. And this one, I won't say it's aesthetically pleasing. It's As long as it runs to get us to where we need to be, I'm okay. I'm not one of the people who are so picky to where, oh, it has to be this or it has to be that. No, if the thing runs, it runs. I know some people are like, no, it has to be this type and express that Valor was not my best experience when it came to energy and vibes. It just wasn't there for me. Getting on to Freedom, it made up and then some. I enjoyed the energy, I enjoyed the vibes on Freedom. Is it something that I would do again? Yes, but if you know me, you know I don't like to do ships twice because I like to collect the cruise ships. And what purpose would it serve me to get on the ship twice when I already have a replica of the ship? So just know that Freedom treated me so well that it would be a ship that I do again. That I would do again, I'm sorry. When it comes to the cruise director, our cruise director was Gabby. From what I've heard, she was under the wing of Kendall Fire, which Kendall Fire, I experienced her back in 2023 on board Carnival Mardi Gras for spring break, and her energy was up there. It was great. So to have Gabby, who was underneath Kendall, she, from what I saw, she did a great job. I didn't see much of her because I didn't attend a lot of the activities. I caught her for the ending of the Sail Away party and for the Love and Marriage show. Anything in between, I wasn't there. When I was sitting in like the walkways of Deck 5, whether I was on live or just relaxing, the few times that I did see her when she wasn't doing an event, she smiled, she waved, she spoke, and that goes a long way. There are some people in the past who frown upon cruise directors who don't do those things, and she did. She spoke, she waved, she said hello, she acknowledged people, and that's a big plus in my book and a lot of other cruisers' books as well. Dining room is your dining room. Now, when it comes to the quality of the I can't remember our waiter's name. They did a good job. I have no complaints at all. It was fine. For the most part, when you go on Carnival, you can expect great service from the staff. Activities, I didn't really do anything. Like the Deal or No Deal, the bingo, I didn't partake in many activities at all. I was working most of the time while I was on the ship, doing content and things like that, which I don't mind. I was doing photography, so I'm able to do two things that I love to do, which is cruise and take pictures. So I was just busy most of my cruise. As far as the events, like I said, I caught the ending of the Sail Away party, and I attended the Love and Marriage show with the rest of the group. We did that as a farewell get together. So that was a good time. Now, I nodded a lot. There was a percentage of the Love and Marriage show that I did miss because Poppy was tired. Okay, Poppy was tired, and I know a few who are going to see this know that, yeah, he nodded off. I slumped a few times, but I had a great time. I had a great time, and Freedom owes me nothing at all. From what I do remember of the Love and Marriage show, it was a great show. Gabby did her thing. She made it fun and entertaining. love and marriage is one of the must go-to events when you are on board a Carnival ship. Specifically, we are going to talk about Guy's Burger, okay? My sailing last September on Carnival Freedom, I've expressed this in the past, I was not happy with the quality of Guy's Burger. There was one particular guy, I wish I remember his name. Every day he made my burger. I even tried to go to the other side, but they always directed me back to him. And like, he just never smiled. It's like he was just upset to be there. And I feel like that negative energy that he put off went into my burger every single time. I hated it. I really did. Like, my edges would, cut me or stab my gums or something like that. It was just poorly made, and it wasn't made with love, okay? Now, for this sailing, baby, when I say I got a good one, I got one of the most tender and juicy guys, but the edges weren't burnt. It was soft all the way around. It was shiny. I didn't get one of them dried out burgers that had been sitting there. The cheese was fresh. I got the ringer, double patty with extra sauce. Oh, it was dripping. So when you bite into it, like, it got all right. Baby, that burger was great. I loved it. I enjoyed the Guy's Burgers on this particular sailing, and I feel like this deserves its own little segment because many people will tell you that guys, if they're off the ship, one of the first things they'll mention is that they cannot wait to get back on the ship to have a Guy's. Beautiful, just beautiful. Moving on to my stateroom attendant, Komang. Shout out to him on deck 6 on Carnival Freedom. If Carnival happens to see this, Komang was awesome. Komang was awesome, man. Smiled, conversed with me. I conversed with him, asked him how his day was going. He asked me how my day was going. He asked me what I had on my agenda for the day. I absolutely love that. And yeah, I didn't want to bother them too much because I know that, those stateroom attendants, they go through a lot, they deal with a lot, they work a lot. I try to be as easygoing as possible. And man, when I say that he showed up for me, he really did. So shout out to Komang. My stateroom attendant was awesome. Now, we did have a total of 4 medical emergencies. Those things are never good when they happen. One interesting thing that took place in the middle of the night of day 1, we had to return all the way back to Port Canaveral. I thought we had ended up in Puerto Rico or something, which wasn't even one of our itineraries. But I'm like, why am I seeing light outside? And this is around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. My first day was long. I stayed up for over 20 hours on my first day, okay? I was tired. But I happened to go out and I seen lights. And I'm like, why am I seeing lights when we should be in the middle of darkness? And I just happened to ask the lady, she said we had a medical emergency, but we will return back to sea and leave the port around 8 a.m. later in the morning. So I'm like, okay, all right, cool. Now on that day 1, as we left on embarkation day, we were smooth sailing. But day 2, oh, we was hauling through the sea. And you felt it. You definitely felt it. And I noticed that we were going way faster on day 2 than we were on day 1. So I believe we had to make up for that time, but we still made every itinerary on time and things like that. So everything ended up being fine with that. But yeah, we had a medical emergency on technically day 2. When we made it to Moon Cay, there was another medical emergency on the tender boat coming back to the ship. I overheard a guy say that a person was having a seizure, so that was that. And then at Celebration Key, I heard that there were 2 medical emergencies. So just be aware, take care of yourselves, guys. Stay hydrated, have some food in your system. If you're going to lay out in the sun, you're going to want to have nutrition and stay hydrated in your body because, you know, heat stroke is a real thing. You're in the Bahamas. It can get very, very hot and your body can get overheated when you're out there trying to, you know, sunbathe and things like that. So just be cautious and aware and make sure that you're in good condition to do so. Our first port, Half Moon Cay, what I have to say for Half Moon Cay, it is a beautiful port. It's very aesthetically pleasing. I happen to go snorkeling at Half Moon Cay and at the beach that's right next to it. And I love to snorkel. And I had Half Moon Cay. So with this being my first visit to Half Moon Cay, I was looking forward to that. And when I went snorkeling, it was not that. I was surrounded in seaweed and it was just, my experience with snorkeling there at the beach was horrible. Now, people have said that you have to go to a different area of Half Moon Cay, whether it's a different part of the beach or you have to take an actual snorkeling excursion to see the crystal clear waters of what Half Moon Cay has to offer. I did not do that. I actually had an excursion doing something else, but I thought that, you know, at the beach, snorkeling would be very pleasing, and it wasn't. Like, I could barely see my camera that was in front of me. All I saw was the sand and seaweed. So clear waters where you can see the fish and things of that nature. Also at Half Moon Cay, like I said, I did do an excursion. I did the jet skis. We had 3 tour guides. We had one in the front, one in the middle, and one in the very back for the people who were much slower. I do not remember any of their names. All I remember is, baby, I had a time. I was actually leading the pack behind the tour guide for my very first jet skis last year. I was kind of in the middle towards the back because I had no idea what I was doing, but I told myself after having the best time on the jet skis, the next time I get on jet skis, I am going to be in the front. And I was in the front. At the end of the excursion, you know, we got back and the guy said to me and the next lady that was ended up behind me, he was like, yeah, I knew that he was ready. When I seen him over there gearing up with his GoPro and everything like that, I'm like, yeah, he's gonna be behind me because I feel like he knows what he's doing. And did I ever? I was out there riding them waves like left and right. So it was definitely a great time. They did a great job keeping an eye on everyone. There were a few times we had to stop. They had to readjust and rearrange people because some people were, you know, going a lot faster than others. They weren't as scared. So that's how the lady ended up behind me. She was behind someone who was going a lot slower than her. And I think for our first stop, they moved her to put her behind me because she was ready to just take off. So it was great. It lasted for, I want to say it was about an hour. Now it's in the description when you book it to be about 45 minutes, but I want to say everyone followed the rules and things like that. So I think they gave us an extra 15 minutes. I think they did. And if they did, I am very appreciative of that because we were having a good time. The weather was perfect. You definitely want to make sure when you do jet skis at Half Moon Cay specifically, probably for other ports as well, that you have goggles, sunglasses, or something because that salt water getting in your eyes, going at that speed, it's not gonna go well for you at all. So I did have sunglasses. Some people did not, I believe, and they complained about the salt water getting in their eyes. And if you've never had salt water in your eyes, when I tell you it burns, it burns. So please wear some safety goggles, something, sunglasses, whatever you can to protect your eyes from that salt water. Our second port was Nassau. For that one, I did not have an excursion. that was like I told you before, I spent most of the time working on the ship, and the group said, you need to relax. You need time for you. So at Nassau, you do what you love to do and take your time. And I listened, and that's what I did. I took pictures at Nassau. I took videos at Nassau and just woosah'd a lot. I took everything and, I had no schedule. I just simply took my time with everything, and it was great. I'm grateful that they just kind of put that in my brain to take time for you and just have no schedule. Just freelance it, take your time, and enjoy it. And I did. It was amazing. So the weather was beautiful. I have no complaints. I don't really eat much at the ports when I go. If you know me, you know I'm very, very picky. I don't do seafood. A lot of people always say you should try the conch at Nassau, but it's like, okay, once I learned what conch was, I'm like, no, it came from as usual. A lot of people don't like Nassau because it's one of the most visited ports, and oh, I've been to Nassau enough times, I don't need to get off the ship. Me, I embrace Nassau every time I get off. I walk around. As a photographer, I have the eye to see something new every single time. And I think when I go back, I'll try to eat. I actually have eaten at Nassau. I had the jerk chicken and macaroni and cheese at Junkanoo Beach last May, and it was amazing. It was amazing. So I have eaten at ports before. So yeah, Nassau did me good. Celebration Key. Let me just say that I have badmouthed Celebration Key in the past before actually visiting Celebration Key, okay? But baby, when I tell you, when I got there, I was blown away. I was blown away. Before I even actually walked through the sign of Celebration Key, I noticed the water and how crystal clear it was. And at that point, for me, I was already sold. The fact that you could see straight down, and it was shallow, but even going further out, like you could still see like through the water, I'm like, oh, I'm sold. And I wish I would have had time to snorkel. I didn't. I did the vlog more so for you guys to capture as much as I could, to show you and, provide information. There's more things that I could have gotten, but I didn't. I was just, yeah, I got what I could and I did what I could. And I didn't even use my voucher at Celebration Key. Again, I'm picky. Someone said I should have went to the shop where they sold I think it's either cheesecake or donuts. But I didn't. I was I wouldn't say learning, but knowing about how the bees were. That was a big thing when it first opened with the bees. I saw a couple walking into the Starfish Lagoon. I noticed that they were in the palm trees. I never had to do like this for bees to get away from me. The first thing I saw was a dragonfly, and that was it. And then I seen a few bees within the first 10 to 15 minutes of being there. Then after that, I was good. Didn't see a bee after that. It was no issue with bees when I went, which was August 16th through the 21st. Everything was gorgeous. The lagoon, the water, was beautiful. It was color coordinated by the umbrellas. I forgot which colors they were, but you'll notice when you go that it's color coordinated per section. Starfish Lagoon, Calypso, and the Pearl Cove. I actually had the Pearl Cove excursion. I had access. I bought the cheapest package, which was $100. Excuse me. With me already telling you guys that I'm very picky, I don't really eat at ports like that, so I didn't need to get the one that had the lunch, which was $180, I believe, and it came with drinks. And then there's one beneath that, which is pretty much the all-inclusive, which involves the drinks with no lunch. I believe that one is $140. I didn't need that because I don't drink alcohol, so I got the cheapest one, which was $100. And I got a drink with no alcohol. I had my first strawberry daiquiri. It was nice. It was nice. I felt like a big kid. I felt like a big kid with my strawberry daiquiri, and It was very enjoyable, so I will be trying another deck. I will be venturing off trying more drinks, virgin drinks in the future when I get on ship. So I'm excited about that. I asked a bartender if I were to use my Sell and Sign card and I did have the drink package, does my drink here count towards my drink package on the ship? And the bartender told me yes. That's what he told me. But in the vlog that I made, because it froze, there's freezing in all three of them, which is unfortunate and it's very irritating. But that part in particular, it freezes. And you hear the man say, yes, your drink here, if you use your Sell and Sign card, does count towards your drink package on the ship. That's what he told me, okay? There are people saying that it doesn't count. The bartender told me that it did, but it's my word against everybody else's because you don't hear it in the video of my vlog because it freezes. So yeah, but that's what the guy told me, okay? So there's that. I've heard people say different things in the comment section of my videos before. Whatever at this point, all right? So I just know what the guy told me. Pearl Cove was nice. They don't have the DJ like they do at Calypso, which Calypso freaking energetic is all get out. That DJ is the life of that area, I tell you what. And in Pearl Cove, they do not have a DJ. They actually have JBL speakers in the sand throughout the Pearl Cove area. And I believe it operates on a playlist. And the vibes over there, it's very much more relaxed, but it's good. The vibes at Pearl Cove definitely are good. It wasn't packed at all. It was very spacious, plenty of umbrellas, plenty of loungers for everyone. I believe the cost of it kind of deters people away from going, which in a way is very nice because you don't have to deal with larger crowds, and Pearl Cove is also 21 and up. So you don't have to deal with the younger crowd being in your way, being in your space, being loud and obnoxious, and, you know, just messing up the energy and the vibes over there. So that is one plus that I enjoy about Pearl Cove. And in my opinion, do I think that Pearl Cove is something that I would invest in again? Absolutely. If I am seeking to get away from the younger crowd and the gist of the teens and the horseplay and all of that, I would definitely invest another $100 and more into the Pearl Cove Beach Club. You have access to the beach. They have lifeguards on duty. Be prepared to bring water shoes. It is very rocky. There are a lot of rocks in the shallow part of the water. There are a lot of rocks and stones embedded into the sand before actually getting to the beach as well. So I wouldn't want you to actually be running or anything, or actually any slip and then, you know, cut the bottom of your foot on a sharp rock or something like that. So please, please, please bring invest in water shoes if you don't have them, and bring them specifically to Celebration Key if you plan on getting into the water. By the way, the water was very warm. It's not one of those I dip my feet in and it's so cold that I have to set back, get myself mentally prepared. It's like when you feel it, oh, you take another step and another step and another step. And then next thing you know, you're in the water within 20 seconds. Like, it's that warm. Now, I don't know if it changes throughout the times of year, but again, going in August, it was very, very, very warm. When it comes to the disembarking process of Carnival Glory out of Port Canaveral, I did something very, very different. And I was up at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. And when I say that was a clutch move, because being up and being able to get breakfast before the masses get down there with their luggage and just being in the way, it was so easy being up that early, getting down there, getting my food, having my bags packed and ready. I did not set my baggage outside to be taken. I carried all my luggage with me. I had my large size, my carry-on suitcase, and I had my camera backpack. So I had 3 pieces of luggage with me, and I was able to maneuver all those things throughout the ship with me. And they tell you don't come down to deck 3 unless you're ready. They tell you to stay on deck 5 or I believe it's deck 9. And when I say I was at deck 5, and no one was there. No one was there. Normally, if you're late getting around, everywhere is packed in the waiting areas. Smooth sailing. And I was up there in the atrium area of deck 5 with my luggage, and I'm seeing people already disembarking, and I'm like, I don't want to wait. I kind of went against the rules, and I kind of went ahead of my time. And I just went on, I carried my luggage down the stairs. I'm like, I'm not about to wait. Like, I have all my stuff. I'm just really about to go down there, going against the rules, and just wait. Like, I'm here. And when I went down the stairs, there was a worker. I said, hey, is there somewhere that I can go just to kind of wait around? Like, I have all my stuff with me. He said, oh, you have all your stuff with you? I said, yeah, this is all my belongings. He said, oh, if you got all your belongings, you can get off the ship. What? He said, yeah, just get in line, follow the line, and get off. I said, say less. Went in that little line. I didn't have to, the line, you just walked, scan my card, I'm off the ship. I'm like, well, that's a plus. I will be doing that from now on, okay? I also had the transportation from the port to the airport, and I believe I got on the one that was at 9 or 8 or something like that. It was like one of the first buses. And it was very convenient getting off that early and just arriving at the airport. You know, everything was smooth. With that side note, please make sure that you take care of your bill. If you have an outstanding balance, take care of that in the middle of the night, or, you know, very early in the morning if you tend to wake up that early. I could have actually waited till I woke up and got that taken care of, but I went down there the night before and got it taken care of. And, you know, when I got off the ship to disembark, I just scanned my card, zeroed out. I received what I didn't use as far as cash. I got my cash back, and I was off the ship. One of the first 100 to 200 people off the ship. And I absolutely loved it. So I will be doing you would have had to be there. So if you are new to cruising, or you have not yet cruised or booked, and you would like me to be your travel agent for your own specific sailing, or if you would like to join me on future group bookings or future sail with me's that I have coming up in 2026, there will be a link down below to send me an email. Well, just shoot me an email if you would like to be a part of one of the Sail With Me's, or you would like me to be a travel agent. I would be more than happy to assist you and help you with your first or future sailings on board a cruise ship. So I really don't have any complaints when it comes to this particular sailing. I could always complain about the food, but that's always going to be a thing. The best thing I could tell you for that is just bring your own seasoning. Get on Amazon and find little seasoning packets, or like little containers to where you can put different seasoning in, and just bring it and, you know, do your little thing and make your food taste a whole lot better than your liking from when the people in the kitchen prepare your food. So just take care of yourself. Like I said, take your immunity supplements and things like that. Just always be aware of your health. Stay hydrated. Stay with nutrition in your body. Keep some food in your body, whether it's actual food or snacking, just to have your metabolism going. That's always going to help out for the most part, and reduce the chances of you passing out in the sun due to the lack of nutrition or something like that. So if you have enjoyed this video of my recent subscribe to the channel. There will definitely be more content coming in the near future. Other than that, I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you for watching, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.